Woo, I'm such a cute little baby. Look at me. I'm such a cute little button. Oh, I'm so new. Oh, I'm autistic. But you're just weird. Okay, so I decided to log back into Reddit and join this creators thread just to see if anybody has posted any like good questions. Hold on, move my camera. Just to see if anybody posted any good questions that I could answer, because I've gotten it's 3:55 on July 17th, 7/17. I've gotten the creative part out of the way. I filmed some femdom stuff. I edited it. I uploaded it. So I needed to pour into the creative, the creative space, which is myself, before I could give any type of advice to anybody else, because I was honestly tired of having to focus on what other people wanted and not pouring into myself. And what I needed to do was create. Okay. So now that I've done that, I've posted some stuff. I said, yeah, I can go online to see what people create. It has not changed any. There will be a lot of newbies coming in and leaving out just as quickly, quicker than ever, right? So I'm starting the Muse method back up. I already filmed content for that. I'm going to be editing and posting it over the next few days. And, opening up Reddit again was a part of that. Now, so we had one guy, quote unquote, right? Because if you've been in the adult industry for any length of time, you will know that there will be men who come into this energy. If you hear me clicking, it's because I'm trying to find a thread that I read. Damn, last time I logged on and posted on Reddit was 2 months ago. That's crazy. Yeah, I did a lot of purging over the last few months. So this person, and I already immediately knew it was a man, right? Said, where is it? I'm trying to look for it. Oh no, that's not even the first one. This is the first one. The men swear that they're smarter than us, but they're not. They're only as smart as the most naive woman. Let that marinate for a second. Men who hope to take advantage of women in any capacity are only as smart as the most naive woman. Naive, insecure woman. They are not smarter than that, okay? So this guy's opening line sounded like a pitch for a SaaS, for like an app, and for a service of some kind, right? So it says the hardest part of being a creator isn't making videos, it's knowing what to make. So I saw that and was like, oh, is somebody asking for how to come up with ideas on what to make? I have an extensive amount of experience with that, seeing as I filmed over 30 categories in the adult industry. When I first started, I didn't even know it was that many categories in the adult industry. I knew the basics, masturbation. I knew boy, girl, foursome, threesome. I knew all of that. I knew MILF. Someone knew about role playing. I knew about, different things like that. Bond, of course, knew about BDSM and things, but I had no idea it was so extensive, right? If you want to actually break it down. Of course, there are categories and then there's subcategories. So there were subcategories and then subcategories that I was doing. To get off track a little bit, for example, you have mouth fetish. I was doing mouth exploration, which is... Hold on, my phone is ringing. My alarm is going off. Where's my phone? Hold, please. Yeah, okay, found it. Okay, had to get my cushion. I was sitting on the floor with no cushion. Yes, for example, I was doing mouth fetish. Mouth fetish is one category. But then within mouth fetish, I was doing mouth exploration, which is taking the camera around your mouth, like how a dentist would if they were looking around your mouth. And doing that, I did vor, VORE, which is pretending to eat someone. I did uvula fetish, like Cardi said, the little dangly thing hanging in the back of your throat. That was a huge seller for me. That's when I learned I have no gag reflex. Not even sticking something down my throat. I learned I could control my gag reflex that way. Yawn fetish, chewing, eating, gummy bear sucking. That's 7 right there within one category. Gummy bear chewing. Then you have the spit fetish. You have spit slash saliva. That's 9, right? Categories within subcategories. So, I said all that. So I was like, "Ooh, cool. This sounds like something I could answer." Then I read it. And I couldn't really tell at first until I also read the person's replies. Well, no, until I got to the end. I've been creating content for a while. Okay. And one of the most frustrating things is spending hours making a video without really knowing why it'll perform or fail. Platforms give us numbers like views, likes, and retention, but they don't explain what actually made a video work. First of all, how would a platform know that? How would a platform know that? You would have to ask your customers. You would have to ask your viewers. How would a platform know that, right? Or how to improve on the next one. How would a platform know that? Finding new content ideas, understanding trends, analyzing competitors, but what works for some won't work for others. I've done some of the highest, for example, nobody was doing role play before I started doing role play. Not to the extent of what it is now. There were 3 big creators that was doing role play other than the big porn companies. Nobody was doing role play until I started doing role play. How do I know that? Because the girls started doing role play because big name OnlyFans creators saw that I was doing a role play, okay? And then they started doing it because I was talking about how good it was for me and how more black women needed to do it. Then they started to do it. Then the girlies saw them do it, and then they started to do it. Hello, yes, come on now. We are an innovator, pioneer over here. And I saw a few creators, older women, white. They were all white, who had been doing it. By the time I started doing it, like heavily. I'm not just talking about the basic femdom type of role play. I'm talking a 45-minute long video with a plot and all of that. Yeah, they were all white because the one that I'm thinking of who isn't white, she started around the same time I did because I think she was a cam model, and then she started doing role play. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, with her husband, and her quality. I think she started around the same time I did with that, like full time. But the rest of them were older. They were white. They had their followings from like the outskirts of the internet, meaning you had to have a blog to discover them type of shit, And they had been doing it. That's actually where I got my inspiration from. It was like 2 older women. What is her name? Tara Tanton? TaraTainton. I think that's her name. Yeah, I found her videos, and it was somebody else's videos. I can't remember who that was doing the damn thing with role play. So, but nobody was doing that before, right? I had to figure out that worked for me by doing it. Because just because it worked for her doesn't mean it was going to work for me. So I just tried it. I picked a role to play, and then I got a custom for mommy fetish. The guy was nice. He asked me. He said, "Would you be willing to do mommy fetish?" Hopefully it's not weird or making You feel uncomfortable, but would you be willing? I bought one of your videos. I love the way that you act. Would you be willing to do it? I said, sure. I mean, it's money. It's like $200 he paid me. I was like, it may take me a little while to get into the character because I've never done that before, but sure. And the rest was history, right? Literally history. Every single mommy roleplay video I have ever made has sold 5, 6, 7, 10 times over. So, shit, I miss it. And I'm glad I did it before it started to take off, because now you can't do mommy role play. You have to do step mommy. God, I'm always early. I love that. So for this person to say, doesn't explain what actually made the video work or how to improve on the next one, you would have to ask your followers and your buyers. That's business 101, creator and artist 101. Finding new content ideas, understanding trends, analyzing competitors, and knowing what niche has real potential also takes a lot of time. Well, Pornhub has a biggest niche in America by state, most watched porn category by state. Well, the states that still allow Pornhub. There are sites that list those things. He said, I feel like creators need a smarter way to understand their content and make better decisions instead of just guessing every time. Help me, please. I'm exhausted. That's not asking for, ooh, my charger fell. That's not asking for advice. That sounds like you're trying to pitch something. You're trying to get information from models so that you can know what kind of app to build. So somebody commented and said what I was going to say. Funnily enough, my content that is based on careful research and study and my analytics often flop. While something I post randomly at 3 a.m. just because there was nothing better to post will get 500,000 views out of nowhere. Exactly. Somebody else said this is always how it is. Stuff I put my heart and soul into, 3 people buy. Stuff I find boring and stupid blows up like hotcakes. Yep. That's how it was for me. Now, some people know how to read and study the algorithm. First of all, I don't want to create like that. I enjoy studying analytics. I like doing that stuff. But when it comes to actual creation, fuck that. I don't want to create like that. That makes it sterile to me. That makes it very masculine to me. And creation is very feminine. When you create something, it's feminine. When you add all of those analytics and numbers and things into it, and this is somebody that loves numbers and I love doing research, it makes it so sterile. And so somebody else commented, said, for someone who is all about analyzing and understanding the back end of stuff, you sure skip past the whole not safe for creators only part of this subreddit. Then they commented and said, I'm a not safe for work creator and this applies to me. What makes you think, oh, they aren't talking about not safe for work. There's somebody else commented and asked. They replied, they're not involved in any subreddits for adult creators. They only commented in AI, CRM, SaaS product type subreddits, and they cross-posted this to a regular creator sub. Not hard to sniff out the lost Redditors when they post in here so often. Somebody else said, plus it literally reads like the start of a bad sales pitch. Yeah, they're trying to create and they're trying to use us essentially to tell them what to create. I said pick a category, film it, upload it, repeat, trial and error. Somebody else say up trial and error. Figure out what your audience likes through trial and error. What post it's once you have been doing this a long time, you know how to see people. You know how to see the bullshit. You do. Somebody else is over here talking about content management, looking for a partner with high traffic, model share, content ideas, marketing, and shout out. I want us to keep each other accountable and grow together. What does that mean? So you essentially want to use somebody. You want to use a woman. Somebody commented, said, I recommend learning social media marketing. It's chatter. I'm going to say it. It's one thing dealing with men, American men who attempt to try to use and create, use us as women to fund their ideas with ideas. It's, what irks me is they don't realize that when you honor the divine feminine, when you pour into women with money, women will bless everything they will bless, elevate, flirt, make whatever project you got going on flourish. But no, these men want to attempt to use women for our ideas based off of our hard work and our pussies. And they think we're going to answer them with just niceness. No, that was a chatter. I reported them. I'm petty. No, that's not petty. Because the rules, okay, they removed the post. Somebody was talking about an alternative to OnlyFans. They said, my friend overseas is coming up with an app, blah, blah, blah. I said, been in this industry 12 plus years. This has been done and said 1,000 times. If he wants answer, he answers. He's going to need to pay models for their opinion for his already failed and unlaunched site. Next. And they got a nerve to have they have the nerve to have a profile picture that's the little Reddit alien that's supposed to be a woman. But if you look at their post, it's so obvious that it's a man. So what I was saying about the American, men, whatever. A lot of these foreign men, because of how they treat and talk to women, because most of them, when they come into this industry, looking to start an app or be a chatter, a lot of them are Filipino, they're Indian, they're Russian, and even some of the Russian guys got a little bit more respect and sense than the Filipino ones. They think that they genuinely think that they're smarter than us. Genuinely. And they will, I'm a creator. No, you're not. No, you're not. And I can see your post on your page. Like, no, you're not. A model said, there's a new alternative to OnlyFans created every week. We get messages for them all the time. Can a new platform give better features? Certainly. The problem is nothing will beat the OnlyFans brand. And it's true. Especially with where porn is going. I'm even on a news site, and there's only but so much you can get out of where porn is going over the next few years. All sites are eventually going to have to switch over to safer work, or they're going to have to do AI. At least if you're in America, because, baby, I won't be here for much longer. There are a few of my mutuals that moved to places like Amsterdam and other places a few years ago because they saw what was coming. I was like, baby, I'm right behind you. It may take me a little bit, but maybe not Amsterdam, but I'm right behind you. I do not see it's not worth it to me to invest in this country anymore. I don't see the benefit. I do, but not directly. I will make money from it, but I will not invest in it. There is a difference. Then they try to argue with us because most of these men, they will always say, oh yeah, app for the app store. You cannot have an adult content creator or adult content app in the app store. You cannot, or Google Play. You cannot. People have tried to sneak around it. People have snuck around it. But if you're going to be making money from adult content, from porn, you cannot have an app. OnlyFans had one years ago, and they had to delete it. I remember because I was excited about it. I said, ooh, finally. Nope, they had to delete it. And then the person was like, oh, an app version will be available as a work tool for content creators while fans will use the web version. I said, not sure how that will work. No, somebody said, not sure how that will work. But since you replied to me, if you're not an active creator, you can't be posting here. We're not here for our brains to be picked at by yet another wannabe website to siphon money out of us. They ain't gonna say I'm a content creator and your comment is very stupid. And he said, sure, okay. He said, you have several comments on your page with referencing you being or wanting to be a chatter. You are not a creator, but okay. Like, it's just silly. It's funny when you see people still trying to, what did the kids say or the gays say, reheat folks nachos. Like, okay, this is the one that I originally got on here to talk about. It's not even annoying, it's just funny. Because I'm even seeing this from like other creators in other areas, right? And this was before it was hard to search on Google and stuff. Because now Google, you search something on Google and they show you stuff that you know you didn't search for. That's not even the same word that I searched for. Why did you show me this? You know, same with YouTube. It's like, why did you show me this? So a creator said, I want to try selling used undergarments. Any advice? Do folks usually sell through apps? And they edited to say, while I understand there's likely post here, I'm new. Please be kind. I'm just looking for any advice in this particular field. I hate. I'm not going to say hate. That's too passionate. No, I'm going to say hate. That's the right amount of passion. I hate. It's something about this generation or the last two generations that will say, please be kind, while they're asking for something that they feel entitled to. I hate that. I genuinely, it's so disrespectful to me because I consider that to be passive aggressive. And while they think they're coming off like genuinely a newbie and naive, it's coming off very passive aggressive. Please be kind. Even though I'm asking for you to give me all the answers, even though I haven't even done anything yet, I won't even take the time to search the Reddit thread that has literally hundreds of thousands. It has 137,000 creators in it and 1.3 thousand, 1,300 creators online right now at this time that I'm on it. It has 417. Hi, my phone's on 33%. The numbers aligning. And I've seen this before. And you can tell that they're feeling entitled. And it's not because a few years ago, people would say that. And it would be a genuine question that they may not have been able to find an answer to, right? And so people would be like, please be, I hope this isn't a dumb question. Please be gentle or kind with me. And it would make sense, right? Now they're doing that. And when people are telling them to take the time out, because on Reddit is one of the only, that's why I came back to it. Reddit is one of the only websites still where you can search for something and get exactly what you search for. Especially because they have individualized threads within the Reddit website. You can search individual threads within Reddit threads. That's why Instagram hopped on Threads, because of Reddit. They saw the success of Reddit, and they were late to the party. Okay. Well, they saw Blue Sky, and Blue Sky isn't doing too well, but they saw Blue Sky do their own thing, and they said, hey, we want to do our own thing too. They were late to the party. That, and it was during a time when people was having issues with Reddit, because Reddit was starting to crack down on certain things, but their AI bots was fucking up. That's why I left. It was reporting shit that didn't even make sense. But they fixed it since then. At least it seems like it. And that's another thing I like about Reddit. Reddit seems to, maybe because the people that actually created it actually have a background in tech. I don't know. But Reddit seems to actually listen to their creators. At least that's been my experience. If there's a Reddit thread that doesn't have any mods and it's just a whole mess, they'll, I guess, message the mods or send a message to the mods. And if nobody responds, they'll delete the whole thread because it'll be spam. It'll be, just a big old mess. And when you look at the thread, it will make sense. Nobody is moderating this. People are posting things that have nothing to do with the Reddit thread. It's trash. In my Mr. What's the name voice from Abbott Elementary? That's trash. But yeah, you can actually search within the thread and it'll pop up. You can ask a question. I've done research on some occult things on Reddit. People, have dropped sources and books and things and recommendations. I've looked up when I was first got into sidereal astrology. I've stayed in them Reddit threads. Regular astrology, you could search a number of different things and you can find it. all someone said is this this question has been answered in detail multiple times. Just search for the Reddit, search through the thread. Immediately got snippy. They immediately caught an attitude, and I say, see, you weren't being genuine. And that's the thing I'm noticing about, and I will say this generation, certain people in the generation, because there are some Gen Alphas and Gen Z that are just straight up and to the point, which I respect. But it's the passive aggressive ones, because you got some millennials like that as well, that will come off, ooh, ooh, woo, I'm such a cute little baby. Look at me, I'm such a cute little button. Oh, I'm so new. Ooh, I'm autistic. Bitch, you haven't gotten a diagnosis. You're just weird. It's not even just you haven't gotten a diagnosis. You haven't been around too many people and you don't know how to interact with humans. Log off, go outside, say hello to somebody. There's a difference. You have no social skills. That's it. You're a rude bitch and no one likes you. That's it. And they'll use that as an excuse for someone to coddle them, for somebody to baby them, for someone to give them all of the answers that people have had to work years and years and years for, just for them to not use the information that someone gives them. They feel entitled because there was an era of content creators on YouTube and TikTok that handed them everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Told them everything to their heart's desires and was excited and gave everything, every bit of information that they could possibly want. And now they feel entitled to everybody doing that. I recorded something like this before and said that somebody actually tried to catch an attitude. I made a video on an old TikTok page that went semi-viral. I say semi because it had like a few thousand views. Hold on. I'm putting my blanket down. Anyway. It had a few thousand views, right? And excuse me. And somebody commented and said, well, you didn't go into detail. You need to explain what you mean because you're being vague. One, I wasn't being vague. I just didn't over explain myself. I made a statement and I left it at that. I don't have to explain anything once I make a statement. No, I don't. Who the fuck are you? Are you judge and jury? I know I don't have to. And they get to the point where they feel entitled. Like, I demand you answer me. Who the fuck are you? You're nobody. And that's the truth. You are nobody on the internet, which is why you feel like you can demand somebody to do anything on the internet. You have no power on or offline. And instead of creating a lane for yourself, instead of creating content, instead of creating a brand where people would actually want to listen to you and actually give a fuck about who you are trying to demand something from someone who is creating the content that they want. How dare you? So, people were getting advice. Somebody said, whatever service you use, don't ship them internationally. Customs will happily destroy them or whatever. Without a valid invoice with correct tax class. Somebody said there are subreddits dedicated to this service. Somebody else commented and said, based on how you're reacting here, this industry is going to eat you alive. There are a ton of subreddits for this, including answers based on panties or underwear in this Reddit thread. The search bar exists for a reason. Somebody else said this gets asked every day in this Reddit thread. I mean, Reddit, what do you call it? Reddit thread? Yeah, whatever. Use the search. And then they're gonna comment and say, that's what this chat's for, and I'm new here, but thanks for the reply. The person says, posting frequently asked questions is lazy. 9 times out of 10, whatever the question has already been posted with answers. Always search before posting. Even the moderators will sometimes comment and say, This question has been asked and answered. They'll usually say however many times in the last month. Feel free to go search it. Feel free to scroll, because it's not that many people asking anything in this Reddit thread. Not recently. So you can just go ahead and scroll. And they said, I'm still new to this, so I'm learning as I go, as we all did. Most of us did. I don't mind constructive criticism at all, but do your research doesn't really tell me what I can improve. Are the babies stupid? And I'm only assuming she's a baby because of the way she's talking, you know, probably 18, 19 years old, maybe up to 21. The babies are dumb. They got left behind. And not just in America either. I don't know where this person is commenting from. But do your research. The person says search this Reddit thread. Doesn't really tell me what I can improve. You're asking about selling underwear. Connect the dots, babes. Search this Reddit thread for selling underwear. And do you see why a lot of us lose patience? Because I lost my patience years ago. They were fussing at me for the things that they're complaining about now. They were fussing, oh, you're so rude, and you, what happened to girls helping girls? I said, babes, I'm an independent contractor. I don't have to help anybody. I do this because I want to. I don't have to. I said, do you realize there are millionaire porn models that don't help anybody? But y'all get demanding. Y'all feel entitled. Y'all feel entitled to our energy. I said, you don't even feel that entitled to a man paying you more than $5 a month to see your pussy. But you feel like you can be demanding to me, giving you advice that I had to spend hours upon hours, if not trial and error and investing money and trying out different sites and things. There's already so much information out there, and you don't even want to look for it. So they continue to say, if you have actual advice or resources you recommend, the babies are I'm very passionate. The babies are slow. They literally just gave you a resource, the Reddit thread. You should see me right now. My head's kind of cocked to the side, like, and I'm looking confused. They did. Or resource you recommend, I genuinely appreciate it. Otherwise, I'd rather receive helpful feedback than be told what I should have already known. Then if the person replied, that is helpful feedback. A huge part of this work is doing your research instead of wanting to be spoon-fed. I said, I agree with you. They want a personalized response, like we're not all business owners / independent contractors. And then they're passively aggressively going to reply to the person, have a good day. They helped you. And then here come this dum-dum. Y'all. He said things like, I said before, I'm new to this. I know that won't be good enough explanation for everyone, but I've never had to Google how to use YouTube, Instagram, or most other platforms before trying them. I usually learn through trial and error. I appreciate constructive advice. I was hoping for that's the kind of feedback I was hoping for, but I wasn't expecting a simple question to turn into such a commotion. Lesson learned. They told you how to use the search bar. Somebody literally said, go to the search bar. One thing I love about Reddit is whatever Reddit thread you're in. Say, for example, you're in the Candy Divine Reddit thread. When you go up to the search bar, that Reddit thread will already be in the search bar. So that all you have to do is type in whatever topic you want to find within that Reddit thread. Half the work is literally already done for you. And if you can't figure that out, or you can't do that, you are dumb. You're too stupid. You're dumb. So this idiot is going to come and say, don't let the gatekeeper stop you from asking questions on the subreddit dedicated to creator advice. How is it gatekeeping if they're telling her that her question has been answered in the thread? I said, y'all are chronic victims. Y'all want to be oppressed. No one is oppressing you. They literally said what you're looking for is on here. Just use the search bar. And they caught an attitude. Because it wasn't, they didn't get the exact kind, oh, you sweet little baby, here's a morsel of, here's everything you need to do whatever it is that you need. I can't stand people like that. And genuinely, the way that this world is going, people like that are going to get chewed up and spit out in this world. They're going to get chewed up and spit out. Because they don't get the responses that they want. They're packaged up nice and neatly with a little bow and a kissy mark. And they think everybody who don't feel the need to rush and help them and give them a hug, they think that they're rude. No, people have lives outside of whatever it is that you are asking for. People are giving you their advice. Teach a man to fish. Give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. Because once this internet is gone, babes, what you gonna do? The internet is already leaving. You can't even search Twitter or YouTube or Google anymore for a straight answer. Y'all gonna be shit out of luck. And I love that I do get passionate, but I don't care anymore. Not enough to... I just be forgetting sometimes because I stay to myself, and I also only talk to people with sense, and the people I watch or learn from have sense and they're smart. So I forget that there are people, and this is not just being young, this is genuinely being dumb. So somebody was like, babes, if you can't handle people responding to you, telling you to search, you're not going to last long. Somebody said, how is asking... They say, I see how your mentality is. Asking direction as a newbie is definitely not the same as being able to handle the industry. It actually is, depending on what you ask. If you can't take the time to search a Reddit thread, you're not going to last very long in this industry. The answers are all there for you. They're already there. People already answered it. All you gotta do is just search for it and read. Y'all don't even want to fucking read. Not unless somebody specifically responds to you. It's not quite a parasocial relationship. I don't think that qualifies as a parasocial relationship. It's I don't know what it is. I'm not going to try to rack my brain. Somebody said, I see nothing wrong with help. We all need it from time to time. Sorry that you've been convinced that struggling is some type of initiation. How is it struggling if they're telling you where to find the answers, babes? It's like an open book test with point blank questions. Not one of those, you worded this in a way that doesn't make it obvious that the answer is in the book. Because I had some teachers like that didn't want us to find the answers. So the way that they worded it was very like legalese. I'm like, babes, we're in 10th grade. We are not in our junior year of college. Why are you making it so difficult? And we to the point where we would actually be like, just give me a regular test, because you're making this more difficult than what it needs to be. And I could tell you're enjoying this. Get the fuck out my face. We really had teachers like that. They wanted to actually see us suffer. And it had nothing to do with making us search for it. Because I love a research. I used to say fuck homework and write 10-page papers, research papers, in exchange for saying fuck homework. Like, literally I worked it out with some of my teachers. Because they knew I was genuinely going to say fuck that homework and fuck that classwork. And they would give me research topics, which were probably for their thesis statements or some shit, I don't know. And I would actually write papers on it, and they would give me the grade for the semester for all the homework that I missed. Because essentially it would also show that I knew, what we had studied and what I just I don't like classwork. I hated it. I couldn't stand homework. That's not how I learned. That's not how I show how that I know the information that I know, unless it's like in essay form or whatever. Like I never liked homework or classwork. Didn't care for it. But I could show you I know the information just in my way, not the way that they want everybody to show it. And how just sorry that you've been convinced that struggling is some kind of initiation. And then they comment and say you're telling people to fend for themselves. Nobody in the thread ever said that. Nobody even commented ever said that. Nobody in the thread said that. Nobody in the thread said that. All they said is if you cannot take the time to do research that has already been done for you. Oh baby, these babies would have never been able to handle forums. Like Reddit is a form of a forum, but forums with all of them thousands upon thousands of pages. It was Stripper Web or Amberkey, one of those websites that they had to close down because they couldn't afford to keep it up. There was a lot of information that I did learn from there. It helped me with sites that no longer exist. You know, they went out of business years ago, adult sites. But there was so much information on them forums. I invested hours just reading those forums. There were even some big adult creators that ended up going independent. When they knew they were leaving a clip site, they would join that forum and give all the deets on whatever it is that they did, what they, worked for them, whatever else. So there was so much information that I learned from that, and I invested so many hours just click, just reading. All of those hours upon hours of information, and it was I was so hurt because I had actually had a few forum threads or whatever, blogs or whatever the fuck you want to call them on, I think, was it Stripper Web? I think that's what it was called, and they closed it. It has so much information, man. I'm so hurt that they had to delete it. Yeah, Stripper Web, 2003. 2023 is when they closed down. February 1st. It was originally for strippers, it was a forum for strippers, but of course, because there was nowhere else for us to go, there are other adult content creators, cam models, femdoms, financial dominatrices, all of them join it too. Is this still working? Nope, of course not. Nope, it's down. Somebody else tried to start another one and it's down. Yep. A lot of people are saying that they used to spend so much time on the app. I did too. On the website, the forum. Anyway, they say you telling people to fend for themselves. I'm like, babe, nobody said that. Nobody said that. Matter of fact, people literally told her exactly what to search for. They said you're telling people to fend for themselves and to go through the trials of porn initiation. Please explain how that is positive. Genuinely, I'd like to understand the thought process. I said fend for yourself, and all the answers a newbie could possibly want are on a Reddit thread. On the Reddit thread, and all they have to do is type in the search bar. I said, dramatic much? I said, not like it's 2010 where there's barely any info and all the articles were written by men. Girl, bye. I think y'all want to be oppressed so bad. That's your role now. That's genuinely your role. Oh yeah, and some people are chronically online. This person got 4 million karma. Yeah, chronically online and not used to their information is they're foreign. That's why. With something else I read. But it's like how is somebody telling them? Never mind. Let me stop. I'm good. Do you see how quickly I get over stuff? People genuinely oppression has become so a part of their identity that they have to take every interaction and figure out, how am I oppressed in this situation? Babes, you're not. You're not. You want to be. You're not. All you have to do is make it a specific decision and you will be empowered. But you are so wrapped up in your identity as somebody who is oppressed, you can't even see situations that would give you power. You can't even see how you would be empowered in specific situations because you're so used to being oppressed. I said that it's almost like that's the point. It's almost like that's what they want. It's almost like that's how they keep lording power over you, because they prevent you from knowing your own power. Oh, stripper web started in 2002. Yeah, and they closed. Dang, wow, they were 21 years. Oh, it was so much information. Oh, somebody said rest. Tris Link had an article that said rest in pleasers. Yeah, I didn't even know that they were gonna shut down. It just shut down. Like they didn't get no warning. Like how, what's the name of that damn site? Wikipedia has been given a warning for years. Oh, please tip us. Blah blah blah. They didn't give a warning. They just, oh, we can't keep it running. We're gonna shut down. And there were like some big models. When I say big models, I mean big models, fetish models and stuff that were like, is there any way we can contribute money? Like this is a huge piece of history and information. Is there any way that we could invest in it to keep it running? And they never got an answer, and then it just closed. At least I don't think they got an answer, and then it just closed. I'm reading an article somebody wrote about the end of stripper web. Yep, on January 21st, a message went up on the site. For over 20 years, stripper web has been one of the best resources for exotic dancers and webcam models on the internet. We made the difficult decision to close stripper web effective February 1st. We urge you all to check out Amber Cutie's forum as a possible new home after we close. Thank you to everyone who has made such an amazing community. He said no one knew who owned the site or why they were shutting it down, but I know who used to own it. What? And why he opened it up? I didn't know that. And I still had his number. So I got on the phone. This is tea, y'all. So I got on the phone with Curtis Brown. This is from defector.com, known as Price on the forum, who was just as shocked as all the site users that this was now how it was ending. It was the first he heard that the site he created was closing. And he'd just been trying to log in for the first time in a decade to make a goodbye post when the site was pulled offline. In 2000, Brown was a college student in Southern California who was interested in strip clubs and the internet. So his searches took him to Stripper Power. Excuse me. Quote, I think today maybe there could be a documentary that would have fulfilled my interest, but at the time it was fascinating to me. So I was just kind of searching the internet, he says. Watching the customers chat and the dancers chat, it was fascinating to me. When it became clear that Stripper Power wasn't all it could be, he decided to make a site for the dancers. Stripper Web went online in July 2002. I want to read the chart for that. That's Cancer season. Cancer/Leo season, depending on when it starts. When I joined that September, it had about 200 members. Brown ran it pretty much single-handedly until he got regular site users to help moderate. And the site grew steadily into the 5 digits over the next 5 years. Yeah, it was a lot. I'm reading through it. They're talking about the different strip clubs, Magic City, Penthouse, all of that. Penthouse Executive Club, Sapphire in the 80s. Well, I mean, not Sapphire in the 80s. Yeah, Sapphire. He was talking about clubs in Florida in the 80s. That's crazy. Oh, she got a screenshot of the old site. Oh, that's so nostalgic. Yeah, I remember when the news broke, like forum users panic about the loss. They didn't even give us a chance to screenshot anything. Like I was trying to screenshot stuff, and it was just so much. It was so much going on around that time that I think I forgot. And then somebody was like, "Oh, it's about to close." I was like, "Oh, I got all the information that I could possibly need, as well as my own experience. So I'll take it with me." Um, doo-doo-doo. Okay, the Wayback Machine has some of the posts. If you look up the Wayback Machine at the Internet Archive, they preserve some of those forum posts. Yeah, they just basically going down all of them, back down memory lane essentially. Now, almost all the site moderators stepped down. A large number of veteran posters left the site because it was like a lot of serious stuff that was going on. Oh, a funder was acting weird. It was our first experience with how one guy with a lot of money could ruin posting for everyone else. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why it's better to have a bunch of investors versus a few, because one entitled asshole can sink your ship. It's the conversation of don't depend on a man. Yeah, honey, that's why I have multiple. And I'm not dependent on them. I mean, they're giving me what's rightfully mine, money. Why have one when I can have 100? Why have one when I can have 1,000? Why have one when I can have 10, 20? And I don't have to talk to them a bunch because I know how to work it. I said Brown kept running the site for over just 3 years before selling it in 2012. Oh, he had a job in IT. It was a confidential sale. He was only willing to say he'd look for buyers among similar websites. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, he said, when I sold it, the buyers were big on building the site and supporting the community, of course. Yeah, sure. And taking it to the next level, bringing it in a big professional website team. And I was disappointed to see that never happened, he said. And literally nothing happened. The site looked exactly the same in 2022 as it did in 2012. Stripper conversations moved to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Reddit groups where they get shut down by the site. Well, yeah. On Facebook and Instagram, and have to reform on a regular basis. So there's worse things than buying a website and leaving it exactly the same. When Elon Musk bought Twitter, I posted a photo, I guess, of a sticker that she bought from 13-inch Heel that said, "Fuck this, I'm going back to stripper web." Now we're stuck with these disintegrating social sites where everything gets measurably worse by the week, and being able to search for what you like seems totally flattened by the algorithm. Yep. And what do you know? That cam model web alternative has not posted since 2024. In the back of my mind is always like, you can do it. Do I want to though? Not really, because I see where the internet is going. I see where porn is going. I see where strip clubs are going. reading the rest of this. This is a long article. I mean, it's good information. I'm just reading this at almost 5 o'clock in the morning. It is a good article. Defector.com / the erupt and anonymous end of stripper web. If you want to look that up. Oh yeah, I forgot my free cams had bought OnlyFans in 2018. I forgot about that. I forgot about that. We are going from a big, huge conglomerate to small, independent artists, collective circles. It won't just be one big thing. Like OnlyFans is on its way out. It'll be smaller versions of that with people who will have their own fan bases on using cryptocurrencies and what do you call it? Different forms of Web3 and things. That'll be down in the future or whatever. But it won't be the same. It won't be the same. The internet is not going to be the same. It already isn't the same. People are already going back to blogging. I rejoined Tumblr. So my Tumblr name is CandyX666 because Candy Divine was taken, but nothing would pop up. So I guess somebody had the name. Candy Divine 666. I wanted a different name. But the name that I wanted was taken already. Because I wanted to possibly put adult content on it. Oh no, that's what it was. I was going to do Candy XXX Candy 666 or something like that. And it was already taken by probably somebody had the account and deleted it, and now Tumblr won't give up the name. Which I hate when they do that. But I get why. Ooh. Get my water. Possibly in case somebody wants to come back and reclaim the name. So I'm on Tumblr again. And so far, Tumblr is somewhat Tumblring. They apparently have Tumblr TV now where you can watch GIFs and short clips of stuff, I guess. You know, they're trying to be like every other app. I'm using it for what I used it for back in circa 2009-ish because I'm always early. I was one of the first probably few thousand people or 100 people on Tumblr. The only site I never got on was Black Planet. I didn't care to get on Black Planet. I don't know why. I was on forums and Yahoo and things like that back then. Yahoo Messenger and whatnot. And message boards, fan message boards and things. I was one of the first people on Tumblr, and I got all of my friends on Tumblr. I was one of the first people on Twitter. Not one of the first people, but one of the first people that really started using it other than like the tech folks or whatever. Because Twitter was around maybe a year or two before I joined it. When did Twitter get started? 2000 what? 2006, that's what I thought. 2006. I joined in like 2007. Yeah. Because it opened to the general public, I believe, July 15th, 2006. I think I joined 2007. Couldn't figure it the fuck out. Me and my friend left. Well, my friend at the time. Left. And they came back in 2007 or almost 2008, I think. I'm going to say it was 2007 because I was on Tumblr. Because I was still using MySpace, child. Yeah, that's what it was. I joined Twitter 2006. I think I did join 2006. Was confused as fuck on how to use it. So far, how far we've come. And I joined Tumblr 2007. So that year, what grade was I in? Or 2008, I think. Yeah. I did join. I joined it because I was a teenager. I joined it, yup, because that was around the time I was still on those teen gay sites or whatever. That's where I met my first girlfriend. And I'm a fucking pioneer, y'all. I swear. Follow me. I know the way. No, don't follow me blindly. Always think for yourself. But I'm talking about in terms of like new apps and when to leave platforms and stuff. There are girls who are complaining about many clips, many vids. I said many clips. Lord, I mixed two sites together. Many vids and how downhill it has gone or whatever. And when I was searching it, I saw somebody mention me on Twitter and say, so and so told us this was going to happen. She said it a few years, she said it maybe 6-7 years ago, to prepare yourself for pornageddon or horrorgeddon, if that's what you want to call it. I am never wrong. It's so hard. Heavy is the crown, honey. And it has nothing to even do with pattern recognition. It's like Olivia Pope, but unlike Olivia Pope, first of all, Olivia, what's her name? Kerry Washington, I think, is a Virgo. And you know, Virgos have tummy troubles, and all she ate was popcorn and wine. So when she was talking about I feel it in my gut, girl, that was all that fiber you was eating. That's why she was wrong so many times. The more stressed out she would be, the more popcorn and wine she would eat. So when she was fine and in control, she was not eating that much popcorn and wine. Olivia was constipated. Or she had the runs, either way. Virgos be having tummy troubles, tummy issues. So it's one or the other. But no, I feel it in my gut, and when I just know. Like I'll look at something and I'll say, I'm not feeling this anymore. And that's it. And sometimes that means that I'll leave and leave it for good, because I thought I was leaving Twitter for good. Something brought me back. I don't know why. I think it's the Saturn is in Taurus in sidereal astrology, but in Western astrology it's in Aries. Twitter is in Aries. I have an Aries rising. That's why I did very well on Twitter. Tumblr is in Aquarius, which makes sense. I have a Saturn in Aquarius. You know, that's originally how I started going viral. I was on Tumblr with my porn, and that makes perfect sense. Oh, I love astrology. So when I say I'm not feeling something, sometimes I will leave it and then come back and say, am I feeling this now? Am I? Sometimes I get called back to things and don't know why. Sometimes that's why I'm not tied to anything, like glued to anything, because sometimes I will leave it and then feel called back to it, and I might only stay for a few months and then I'm gone again. You don't have to stay on these apps and these places forever. You can absolutely use them as you need to. When did Pornhub get started? Oh, June. Wait. I'm not trusting Wikipedia. Pornhub Premium launched in 2015. Yeah, that was the year I started in 2015. Because that's when I started getting paid. Ooh, child, those are the good days. From 2015 to 2017, and in 2019 to 2021. Ooh, sweet spots. Okay. Pornhub launched in May 25th of 2007. Within 7 months of launching, the site reached 1 million daily visits. Now I want to look up the astrology of that. May 25th. Oh, it's a Virgo moon right now. That's funny. We're almost at the end of Cancer season. We're at 24 degrees. 24 degrees. A Cancer sun. We will be entering. I don't feel like looking at it right now. Let me look up this chart for Pornhub real quick. 2000. That's May 25th. Is that still Taurus season? I think it started in Silicon. Was that Silicon Valley? I'm just gonna say LA. I'm just gonna say LA. Ain't that deep. I'm just curious. Project Runway is back? Again? Okay, if they started in LA, then Pornhub has a Gemini sun, supposedly. Don't really know the time, so it has an Aquarius ascendant, supposedly, and a Virgo moon. Interesting. Yeah, Tumblr's an Aquarius. That makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. The weirdos, everybody who jumped on the aesthetic that we started on Tumblr, Aquarius. Kylie Jenner got famous on Tumblr, King Kylie. That was the time of King B, Beyonce posting her Tumblr pics. If you have not seen Beyonce's Tumblr pics, you have to go search for them. Rihanna, Bad Girl Riri got really started on Tumblr. All of the Weeknd was discovered on Tumblr. I found out about the Weeknd through Coco and Breezy. They were twin sunglass creators. And they used one of his songs in their video. Oh, okay, I gotta go to the bathroom. Ouch. I remember someone getting upset or getting pissed at me when I said that I don't follow trends, I set them. Because it's true. I may not buy the first phone when it first come out. Now, I wanted the iPhone 17. I don't know why, but I wanted it. And it was the first time in years that I wanted was excited about a phone. I used to get the phones as soon as they would come out. And the iPhones. It would be the Samsung S's. Me and my friend always had the very first, like the S10. Well, no, it was like the S1, S3, or something like that. I don't remember. For a while, I think I had the same phone for a good minute, but it wasn't until Apple started rushing trying to keep up with Samsung, even though the whole time I think they're owned by the same conglomerate on the low. We will never know. Same family down the line somewhere. They all those people at the top are all related. Once they started trying to compete with Samsung, that's when I stopped being pressed over phones, because for a little bit Samsung even lost their way, but then they came back with the better cameras, and iPhone was scrambling for, I don't think they were scrambling because people were dedicated to iPhone, but for a while Samsung had the cameras, and that's what I got them for, because I'm a whore on the internet. I need a good camera, a good phone. But But other than that, I usually I at least join things to dabble in them, you know, to see how things work, how something, works or it doesn't work or whatever else. I like to tinker with stuff. I've joined a number of sites that have since shut down and made okay money on it, but nobody else did, and that was because I joined early enough and had my traffic go there. But yeah, they're closed now. Yeah, a lot of this shit is. I try to join this creators thread again to give advice, but a lot of it is newbie shit. People that'll be gone soon. Like, ain't even no point in answering these questions. And you can genuinely tell, like, they're kind of over it. Yep, I'm just gonna go through what I was doing. I'm not gonna use, cause I had the idea of, oh, let me join and try to and grow my following with advice. I forgot how whiny these little bitches are, and that's not who I want on my shit. So let me unfollow. And let me not even follow. It's a lot of whininess. And I've already said I don't really care to. My target audience are not really young, naive creators. Maybe someone looking for a career change. Maybe a stripper who is like, I'm done stripping and I want to learn how to create content. Maybe somebody want to learn about other fetishes and categories in the content world, things like that. That's what I'm here for. Oh, people are so naive. So this guy or girl, I don't know who it is, if it's a guy or a girl, looking to start faceless producing not safe for work content with my girlfriend. Where do I start? Me and my girl want to start private. I'm assuming a guy. Privately selling couples content. Any good sites that don't require you to sign a W-4, like OnlyFans, tricks, tips, tricks, etc. We are lesbians. If that narrows the search down, first of all, you have to sign a W-4. Is it W-2? Whatever. We want to find people who will buy the specific content, but I can't find much online about it. I have a private page and produce privately for myself before, not sure where to go to couples. You have to, babes. There's no way. You literally have to sign a W-4. There's no trick all websites. You have to age verify. You have to. Like, to me, that's kind of iffy. Now, unless you sell direct, you have to do a W-4. W-4? That don't sound right, but it's been years since I've signed up for a website. Well, girl, your tits are hanging out, so. Your legs are spread. Your tits are hanging out of your bikini top. Of course, it's gonna flag you as not safe for work. The girls are dumb. my goodness. So apparently, I guess Twitter automatically flags your posts for not safe for work or adult content. They've incorrectly done it because I saw somebody, it's a motivational law of attraction page that pops up on my For You page on Twitter every now and again. And they posted a picture, a video or a GIF of a woman with shorts on, and she has a crop top on, and it has like a motivational, like, assume all things work in your favor type of thing. She's just wearing shorts and a crop top, and she's walking like across the street. I don't know if it's from a movie or what. And they flagged it as adult content. I'm like, this isn't adult content. She's wearing shorts and a crop top. But this woman posted, and it's a aerial view, so you could tell she's holding the camera above her. You can see her areolas, her tits are hanging out of her bikini top. You barely can see her bikini bottoms, and her legs are spread open. And somebody said, "Well, you almost can't see your bikini bottom, so it likely got flagged for nudity." And she says, does this affect the post reach now?" And somebody said, "Well, of course it does. Any labeling throttles your exposure in the algorithm." Somebody, she said, how do you help that? She said, "I'm not by wearing clothing that's visible, or else you'll get." So yeah, it flags your entire account as explicit. Oh, the algorithms have skin detection. The new AI algorithm is super strict. So now if I delete it, will it ruin it anymore? Again, how can I post this type of content like other people do? People have already told her that Twitter is not safe for work. It's not safe for work friendly anymore unless you already had a following. They said you basically can't. What used to work does not work anymore. And sometimes what used to work 5, 10, 15 years ago may work. You just have to remix it. It's very strange people not wanting to verify on a platform. Somebody said, "Is there a way to get around verification process on OnlyFans or a similar platform, or is that not possible? Is a verified model always required?" Somebody said, "It blows my mind that people ask this question." The person that asked is why. He said, "I encourage you to think critically about why it may be a serious issue to not have every individual verified on the platform. Spoiler, the answer is it otherwise opened the door to trafficking, revenge porn, minors, and everything else horrible that comes with not getting someone's consent to post their intimate content. And no, trust me, bro, they're fine with it. Isn't enough for OnlyFans." Let me say, yes, it's always required. How else will they verify your age? Duh. It sounds like you're trying to do some trafficking shit. It really does. It really fucking does. And that, or you are under 18. And that's even, that's just as bad. No, that's actually worse. No, that's just as bad. I put that in the same category. That is just as bad. Mm. Mm-hmm. I'm essentially up because I'm trying to stay up because it's been bright as hell and hot as hell. It was 11:17 on the clock. Bright as hell and hot as hell, and I've been wanting to sleep during the day. So I'm trying to stay up as late as possible so that I can sleep during the day. Because there's absolutely nothing for me to do other than edit, and I do most of my editing in the evening. Yep, a lot of followers on X are bots. I don't even. Mm. Somebody gonna make a post say I want to do glory hole content on just for fans or only fans. I have both set up, but I need some creators to partner with for the consent forums. They're gonna put crying emojis. That's not how you act. That's not how you get people to collaborate with you. People, I got myself all worked up earlier and trying to calm myself down, but in a sense, it's kind of a good thing because now I can do my yoga. I have more energy. See, you can also create the energy if you have none. Not all the time. Sometimes you need a good nap or something to eat, but oftentimes you can. I like reading some of these because it's interesting to me to see how some people think. Like that guy asking about how to get around verification. Or that other girl, the quote unquote lesbian, how to get around verification. Why? Why do you want to get away around verification? Sound like you're trying to do something you ain't supposed to. You mean you can do audio. Yeah, you can be faceless. It takes a time though, but somebody said I want to start a Snapchat premium or something, but I want to know if it's possible to get anywhere with just using my voice or if it's possible to promote without my face. It is. I've done voice audio work. That's actually how I started, voice and faces. So I've been considering doing something with sex work. I primarily wanted to do something with my voice. I take voice notes of myself coming and have been told when I send voice notes telling a guy what I want to do, it's in a porn level. I don't mind selling my nudes. I'm pretty creative with my nudes because it's more than just a mirror selfie. Taking videos for guys in my car, spending at work, I think I can sell them. I don't mind showing my face, but I don't want to promote with my face, and I don't want to show my face unless it's to the people who buy. God, I wouldn't do that because somebody might post your face. I understand there's a possibility that people could post my news. I'm okay with it, but I just want to be more selective with my face if I can. No, you cannot, honey. I've just never done anything like this and wanted to know if someone experienced can provide tips or advice. Someone said I don't show face. I saw my Snap username, $75 for access. I require age verification. It weeds out the time waster. For them, it's lifetime access. I post stories and send exclusive snaps. So you never show your face at all, even after they paid. The only reason I want to is because people who like my face love my face, and some guys I talk to like my face. What? It's their favorite thing to look at. Girl, I mean, I'm all for people being confident. But if you like your face and guys like looking at your face, then show your face. I don't really get not wanting to promote your face. They gotta be young or foreign or something, and not thinking that somebody isn't gonna post your face at all. Somebody said just do the research. Well, they said bragging that some random guy liked your voice notes means literally nothing. You can get very easily found out about this. Somebody said, yeah. Somebody said, I've been told by colleagues who are faceless that you absolutely can be, but they say it will take you more time to scale your business, though, which is true. So what about promoting faceless, but like showing once they bought the content? Said people do it too. The risk with that is some mean-spirited dingus may screenshot and leak your reveal. I really be wanting to know what age, mindset, where are they from? Okay, apparently they're in Vegas, I guess. I don't know. I'm looking at their page. The people who like my face love my face. Girl, men will also jerk off to a McChicken if if it looks tasty enough. Like what? It's just the way. It's the way. Like apparently they're in Vegas. Some of the stuff that they're commenting on is asking about Vegas stuff. Yeah, they're not that bright. I'm reading some of this stuff, and I'm like, some of these situations, they're asking if they can if they can avoid being sued by a check place, a loan place. I read this some. I have no idea what to do. They said answer and show up at the court date. You either got to be really, really young or not that bright. It's just fascinating. And I got time. Yeah, they're young. I could tell. I could tell by what they're commenting on. This is. I remember me and my an old friend of mine used to read reviews on different posts and like apartments and stuff, and we also used to read. What else did we used to read? Reviews on apartments, and it was fuck, what is the name of that website? Not Backpage, but Craigslist. We used to read Craigslist posts because they used to be so fucking wild. They used to be so crazy and funny. So they commented in a relationship thread and said, "Why can't I find a friends with benefits?"